Black Divider Asta, Secret Agent Venassa, Swimsuit Yami, and also Charlotte, and even third Eye Rhya have all just been leaked, making this probably one of the biggest leaks we've seen in Black Clover Mobile history, even next up to Timecode releasing Julie's release date back when the game launched. So on screen now, we're going to go through, I've not actually seen him just yet, but we're going to go through and give my reaction and also just break down what we can see about the character so far. So we'll start off with the Secret Agent Venassa, who I think we've seen some artwork of. I mean, it's from the manga, so you can see it on screen now, but here is what she does. So she is a debuffer, and her dupe passive, so when you get towards obviously, you know, 2 to 5-star awakening, supposedly applying incapacitate passively, which to be fair, I think that's very similar towards what the Noel did, the Halloween one. So that could be obviously very good. SP down, Halloween Noel skill page as a dupe passive. Very, very good actually, because yeah, Halloween Noel passive, you don't know what it is. If you max dupe the skill page, when you get attacked, you do lose 1 SP to all enemies, which is insane. So, yeah, having that on like a 5-star dupe plus level, yeah, it looks like, yeah, just a better version of Halloween Noel. And then we have this skill page, which apparently does say it's going to be able to apply some sort of defense down, whether it applies through her getting attacked or whether she attacks the target. We have to wait and see how that actually works. But I will say this Secret Agent Venassa might be, yeah, really, really good here. So, moving down to Finral. Finral's been leaked. Once again, I didn't even talk about him in the intro, but yeah, Finral's also been leaked. Obviously, we've known about him for a while now. So remember, this guy got delayed because he was too broken, or at least that's like the reason why he was unbalanced. So we'll see what he actually does here, or what he's planning to do. So unique passive, action point up. He is going to have the same passive like Valk Noel, or even faster. Valk Armor Noel's passive is not what I think he's referring to here. I think it's the passive where it does say if you have a certain condition, you are going to get the mobility buff and also speed buff to where you're basically the fastest person in the game. And I think that's fitting, right? I mean, notoriously, at least in the history of Black Clover Mobile, the only thing we've ever gotten, he's always been, you know, a fast character. So I guess I'm okay with that, with him being a fast character. I wouldn't mind if the world can still paste him, but I doubt we'll be able to change anything. Dupe passive is going to be a mobility or speed buff, nothing about whether it's going to be towards the team or just himself, and also taunt immunity, which is going to be very important because remember, he's a buffer, and buffers, if they get taunted, they can no longer taunt up. And with obviously Valk Armor Noel being quite meta and having the actual skill page that allows it to apply taunts onto 2 random enemies, or having a chance to on a random enemy, that is going to be very annoying against the actual Finral. So having a way to stop that is going to be obviously good. Bear in mind that is 5-star dudes probably, so you're gonna have to deep her out. Or him out. Swimsuit Charlotte. Now remember, this is one of my biggest concerns because they just returned the green Charlotte, and at the time I believe the Charlotte was leaked to be a supporter or debuffer in some way, so I was kind of scared that they were going to kind of power creep the green one, where it doesn't look like they've done that, which is a good thing. So if you summon for green Charlotte, you'll kind of go a little bit, because now she's been changed to a red attacker, which is interesting. So her unique passive is going to have Vampire, which is going to be a lifesteal buff, so she lifesteals, and in Sun buff, her own buff. We don't know what the sun buff does. It's going to be something similar to like a Ghost has his, where he's got the intense sunlight, which is only exclusive towards the character, and you get damage down increase. Dupe passive does say that she is going to receive damage down, so reduce damage taken, very much, or probably fortify of course, and also a barrier. LOL Green Yami 2.0. For those that aren't aware, Green Yami, when you do get towards 5-star awakening, does get the passive upon having or making a certain condition. For example, for him, it is having an 8 SP at the start of the turn. You are going to get a barrier equal to 100% of his actual attack. So that is going to keep her alive. But once again, there is just a lot of ways nowadays to remove buffs. So I wouldn't be too scared of it. But, you know, it could be good. Oh, I guess it makes sense, actually, because technically speaking, you can't use Green Charlotte with her, which is one of the best supports in the game. So her having her own barrier, it's like she's basically applying it to herself anyway if you had the green Charlotte. So yeah, you know, I like that little flavor there. Then we get Swimsuit Yami. So he is going to be another brother attacker here. So Charlotte and Yami are going to be competing against each other here about who's going to be better, but let's see what he does do. So he is unique passive a lot here, actually. So we have Beach Training. Once again, his own buff. The way to see what that actually does, but going to be obviously buff up his damage somehow. He's going to have Immortality. Take a shot, boys, every single time a red DPS has an actual immortality buff. Magna, I think Charmy, and also, was it Fagolion, the seasonal one, has both gotten that now, and now we're adding a red Yami towards that list, so that's just funny. Then he's got a dead check, a buff similar towards Valkyrie Armor as well, one defender check, which once again, that is what she has. If one defender is on the team, you get a proc, right? Where his one is called dead check. So this is most likely if someone dies on the team, after the start of the turn, it's going to check if you have a dead ally, a dead defender, a dead whatever it may be, and then he's going to get a buff or buff up his team. That is gonna be what's gonna be about. So he might be a bit of like very much like how Veto is. Veto is, I think, the red one. The more people that die, the more buffs he gets. Well, this one might be a bit better, or more actually usable. Dispel can dispel either a barrier or also debuff, with which that works. Do passive attack buff. Classic stuff, right? Skill page is going to be haste up, will probably work like Magnus skill page. Let's check what he does. Magnus skill page is when you attack an enemy who's taken burn, there's a chance, 100% chance that you'll get a actual increased speed buff. So very much like that, I guess. Third Eye Rhya looks interesting actually. So his unique passive is he has all classes in his passive. So maybe he'll just copy a passive from an enemy. That is unique. I like Rhya a lot in this game because they can, once again, very much like how he made the first one, he just copied the actual Red Yami skills. People argued it was lazy, but I thought it was kind of cool. A lot of flavor towards the character, right? Whereas this one, he might, just copy a class. So if you see Boom and on the team, it might just copy the most passive or copy the most class. That could be, very, very interesting. It is the unique passive, so you get that by just getting a character, which is, could be kind of scary. Dude passive, though, what he's going to do is crit up, so he's going to create a buff, which is, once again, critical ups. He can probably do more damage, right? Receive damage down, so he's going to get fortify. Damage up, so he's going to get some more damage buff, and can either dispel a barrier or debuff. Skill page, a simple one, damage buff. So yeah, Rhya looking the most interesting one so far. The fact that passive where you can have all classes is interesting because I really want to see how that works. It might be really bad against other worlds because if you are a defender and you copy defender somehow and then you have two defenders in your team, that could be bad, but we'll wait and see how that's going to work out. But then we get towards the final one, Black Divider Asta, a Chaos Attacker, so Dark type. He has a unique passive, which is going to be a damage buff. I mean, what do you expect is Black Divider Asta. But then we get a dupe passive, which does say an ally check. Very much like we just saw Yami, where it's going to check if there's dead allies. Or very much like Valkyrie on the World, where it checks to see if there's one defender on your team. This one is called Ally Check. A buff similar to Valkyrie on the World was one defender check. And an ally check can be where a certain team composition can proc a buff. Now, I want to go out on the whim and say that it has to be, Am I wrong by saying that? Like, the Black Divider Asta and, like, you've seen the manga panel, the panel, right? Like, they are a duo in a way, right? So, I really love if they say you have to have Yuno on the team. Because I think by the time this banner comes out, they probably will return Yuno, Spirit Dive Yuno, for his first rerun. That'll make a lot of sense to me. So I'm willing to bet here that you have to have Yuno on the team. Or a Yuno. Because then in the future you could get like the debuffer one, the red one. And maybe somebody uses Swimsuit one. Even that's just ridiculous. But yeah, that is maybe even gearing up towards when we do get the actual, Sword of Zephyr Yuno in his actual Royal Knight outfit. That could be very, very interesting. Really looking forward towards that now, actually. Skill page. The spell damage removes damage up, which is actually massive because a lot of characters nowadays have like Fortify, you saw in the world, reduced damage taken, damage up buff, and also removes his own buffs. That could be interesting. So, boys, there we go. That is all of the new characters being leaked. Like I said, by far, one of the biggest leaks we've seen in Black Clover Mobile history with 6 new characters, 7 new characters, a lot of new characters being leaked here. It's good to see that, Black Clover Mobile on the JP side has a lot of characters. It looks like ready to go. We know for a while now they've had Finral, they've had Secret Agent Venassa, but they've not been releasing characters. That's one of my biggest worries about the game right now is like, what the hell is JP doing? Because they're just not releasing characters. They've stalled for so long. Even now releasing a new skill page for obviously Julius, it feels like the really just in a really difficult place right now. I'm hoping it's because they wait for Global to catch up, and once we do catch up, they're going to be hopefully somewhat in sync, and we're going to start getting characters releasing around the same time. And yeah, like I said, we're very, very close here. So boys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know what you're most excited for. Definitely for me, after seeing Black Divider Asta, I definitely want to see that because I really want to see what that ally check is, whether it has to be like a Black Bull member or someone who was actually involved in the final fight against Zagrud, or of course I really want to see how the Rhya is going to work. A lot of attackers here, which is a little bit scary because a lot of them can be power crept, and if one's better than the other, then you're not going to use the other one. We're going to have to see how they work out. But boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.